Outgoing Prime Minister John Patrick Amama Mbabazi comes off as a level-headed and articulate politician who will sail through the rough seas with a calm demeanor. Once viewed as the power behind the throne, Mbabazi was thrust into the crosshairs when he was appointed Prime Minister, a position he held with a coveted title as Secretary General. However, cracks began to emerge within the ruling party when Mbabazi was accused of building a power base ahead of the 2016 polls. As reports filtered through, the NRM called a crisis meeting at Chankwanzi, which culminated in a purge of Mbabazi's allies. The Chankwanzi retreat endorsed the president as the sole flag bearer of the party. Mbabazi reluctantly endorsed this position, but during a meeting of the Central Executive Committee, a top organ of the party, this position was rejected. As police arrested and carted off his supporters to jail, the crackdown on Mbabazi's allies sparked a political firestorm. The wife, Jacqueline Mbabazi, engaged the Inspector General of Police, General Kale Keihura, in a public spat, accusing him of carrying out politically motivated arrests. Political historian Ndebesa Mwabutsya says the sacking of Mbabazi was long overdue.
Museveni was nurtured in the tradition of political intolerance. So that was expected.
Dr. Aaron Mukwaya, a political science lecturer at Makerere University, says Mbabazi should have avoided this humiliation by resigning.
When you become a prime minister, then the idea to be fired becomes very ripe. So the best way to get yourself out of this problem is to remove yourself earlier.
To nib him in the bud, you remove that status from him, which he has been using as an instrument for getting public access.
By virtue of his position and appointment, Mbabazi can be sacked at the discretion of the head of state. But Ndebesa says there is more than meets the eye.
That definitely is not an ordinary sacking. It is a strange sacking.
Given Mbabazi's influence within security agencies, Mwabutsya says the fallout could portend trouble, like in 1964 when Obote fell out with his close allies.
When they disagreed, it spilled over kind of into the military and it spilled over into the general politics, and there was the 1966 political crisis in Uganda, which actually was a crisis within the party.
With only a year before the polls, Ndebesa says Mbabazi has a number of options to exploit.
Where Amama Mbabazi could split and form a new movement, and therefore the coming elections would be very exciting.
If Mbabazi attempts to seek the presidency, his candidature will likely alter the political landscape, as the incumbent will for the first time face a litmus test from within his own stable. Whereas John Patrick Amama Mbabazi is not the first Prime Minister to be sacked or dropped in Uganda, the events and controversies that have surrounded his term of office are what many critics say could be the cause of the sacking. Now, after today, many say the political space in the country is one to watch. Sheila Nduhukire, NTV.